Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to News Dose. PlayStation dropped a lot of news today, including an extra feature for PlayStation Plus members. I wasn't really expecting this, but it sounds pretty interesting to say the least. They also talked about PS5 exclusives, and it sounds like they do have some big plans for this generation. In fact, they announced a brand new exclusive, and we're going to dive into all of that today. Also, the Xbox Series just got more attractive with one of their new features really showing the power of next-generation consoles. Very exciting stuff happening with the Xbox Series. With that said, make sure to hit that bell notification and subscribe button for your daily News Dose video. I do this every weekday, and if you want to keep up to date with the news, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But yeah, let's jump right into the video, starting off with a game that I am very excited to play, that NieR Replicant Remaster. I absolutely love NieR Automata, which was my introduction to the world of NieR, and of course NieR Replicant releases tomorrow on April 23rd. Well, I'm happy to say that reviews are out now, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. NieR Replicant version 1.22 sits at an 84 overall score on Metacritic. Now this is a great sign and kind of exceptional actually if you really think about it. The original game that released in 2010 has a 67 overall score, which is not exactly what you want to see. So it went from a 67 all the way to an 84, which has got to be one of the biggest improvements in gaming history. That really is very impressive. Now, why such a big improvement though? From my understanding, the gameplay for the original had some issues, along with some graphical problems, but the NieR community does consistently believe it to have a great story and characters. I mean, fans really do seem to like the original story, and some will even say it's better than Automata, which, as you may know, was absolutely amazing. Well, it looks like that part of the game can truly shine now with this remake because of a number of improvements. It sounds like they really improved the combat as well as its visuals, and it even has full voice dialogue for every character in the game. That alone sounds like a big improvement, but it seems we could be preparing for another masterpiece in the world of NieR, and with the success of NieR Automata, a lot more people will be drawn into this remaster. I mean, really, this will be like a brand new game for a lot of people, as many did skip out in the original. I myself am just so happy that Square Enix gave this franchise another chance with Automata, and that game's proved to be so good that they can now go back and help the original reach its full potential. Now we get another chance to play NieR Replicant tomorrow on April 23rd. Now we also got an update for Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. This is a big expansion that majorly upgrades the original Phantasy Star Online 2. This includes a lot of new content and a pretty massive visual overhaul. It does look a lot better from a graphical standpoint, but yeah, if you like this game, exciting things are definitely happening. And if you haven't played it, this is probably the perfect time to jump in. It's going to feel like a truly modern game now, and Maximilian Dude, who played it on his YouTube channel, said it basically feels like Phantasy Star Online 3. It's practically a sequel, which is a good sign in terms of how much it's actually improved. But the question is, when can you play it? Well, I got some good news. They did announce a release window today, and it's coming real soon. New Genesis will be out this June globally for Xbox and Windows 10 PC players. They're also going to release a benchmark character creator tool in late May. This will allow you to create your very own character on PC before New Genesis releases. You will then be able to transfer your character once the full game launches in June. I'm not sure if I've ever seen something like that before, but I actually like this idea. I know some fans will spend hours upon hours creating a character, so being able to do that before the actual game releases that's kind of cool. That way you can jump right into the action day one when that expansion releases. It's still almost kind of hard to believe how Phantasy Star Online 2 made its way to the West with that Xbox partnership, but here we are getting a big upgrade, and I hope you all are excited for it. Next up, we got some Battlefield news. EA today decided to post a blog post about some of their upcoming plans. They didn't go into great detail, but there was some interesting things dropped here. They did once again reconfirm that the next Battlefield will release this holiday. They have their biggest ever Battlefield team working hard to get it out this year. The talented Need for Speed studio Criterion is even helping out make that possible. So if there was ever any kind of doubt of some kind of delay, I think you can rest assured. This is like the second or third time I believe that EA has committed to a holiday release. Interestingly enough though, so far, they've only confirmed Battlefield 6 will release for next-generation consoles and PC. They have yet to mention older consoles such as the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. So there is speculation that this might only be a next-generation game. That would be a very bold decision by EA to say the least, but nothing has been confirmed just yet, so keep that in mind. They're also teasing that it will be revealed quote-unquote soon with a winky face. Yeah, we won't have to wait too long to find out more information about the next Battlefield. We're probably going to see a big Battlefield blowout in the coming months, hopefully sooner rather than later. I, of course, will keep you updated with all that, but there was one big surprise here. Apparently, they're also working on a mobile Battlefield game that will release sometime in 2022. This is a completely separate and standalone game for mobile devices developed by Industrial Toys. Again, they're not exactly saying too much about this game, but as we've seen in the past, there is a large market that would be willing to download a game like this for mobile devices if done right. We'll have to see how it all works out, of course, but let me know in the comments, do you want Battlefield 6 to be a next-generation only game, or are you hoping for an Xbox One and PS4 version? Moving on, let's talk about Xbox. Really, they have been making all of the right moves here recently. Phil Spencer has the Xbox Series in a great position for a number of different reasons. Xbox Game Pass sits at the top of the list with their now 23 first-party studios. We talk about that all the time on the channel, but they're also making waves with their features and pro-consumer practices. As an example, they have done great work with backwards compatibility. They didn't just release the Xbox Series and leave their legacy content behind. Instead, they're looking to improve games that released prior to the Xbox Series. Now, they're still committed to releasing new games, and that's why they've invested in the 23 studios, but at the same time, they have made it their mission to improve older games. They've added the ability to enable HDR for games that never had HDR in the first place, and that's pretty cool. But the most dramatic change, which is absolutely incredible, is FPS Boost Mode. This is where they can double the frame rate for older games that wasn't previously possible. So instead of being able to play something like Fallout 4 at 30 frames, you can instead play at 60 frames on the Xbox Series. You know, these older games were great and everything, but they were limited by older hardware, and that's where the Xbox Series comes in. It's a powerful machine and can boost 30 frames to 60 frames, and some games will even get an increase to 120 frames per second. Seriously, the Xbox backwards compatible team is technical wizards. This, however, is a new feature though, so they're slowly adding more games to support this option. Last month, they announced several Bethesda games, including Fallout 4, Prey, Skyrim, and Dishonored. Today, though, they're adding several more, but this time, we instead get EA games. With EA Play being an Xbox Game Pass, this will benefit both publishers. This includes the Titanfall games, which are excellent, definitely play those, several Battlefield games, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, the Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare franchise, Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, and Unravel. So that's a pretty good list of games there, and now that they've been upgraded for the Xbox Series, I highly encourage you to go check them out yourself. These were already good games, and they just got even better and more viable on the Xbox Series. I mean, games on the Xbox One and PS4 already look good. What really held back last generation consoles was frame rate. And now, the Xbox Series is making these games run smoother with FPS Boost Mode. What's even more amazing about this though, is that these updates come at no extra charge to the players, and developers don't even have to put any extra work in for this to happen. This is done through Xbox's technology, and it's just an awesome feature. Again though, definitely go check out Titanfall 2. That is a must-play game, especially with this update. In other news though, we do have quite a bit of PlayStation news to go over today. They are starting to break their silence a little bit here recently, and I'm really liking this. They need to do this type of stuff more often, but yeah, today Jim Ryan in an interview talked about the PS5 and their future plans. And two things he mentioned were really interesting. One, he did mention that they are putting together a cloud-based strategy that will be unique and only on PlayStation. Now, I don't know exactly what that means, but they are exchanging ideas with Microsoft. Of course, PlayStation entered a partnership to use Microsoft Azure, so this is an interesting relationship. Nothing too notable has happened yet, however, but based off this comment, it sounds like they do have something cooking. However, the most interesting thing that he mentioned was that the PS5 will have more exclusives than any other PlayStation console in history. Now, I don't know if that includes timed exclusives or not. He didn't exactly elaborate on that, but from rumors that are going around, Sony has opened up their wallets this generation. I'm sure there are several more big surprises in store, and I think it's already shown that they are taking exclusives serious with the PS5. If you just look at the first year of the PS4 compared to the PS5 is getting off to a much better start. Some of these are cross-generation games, but you have games like Spider-Man Miles Morales, Sackboy, Demon's Souls, Returnal, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and possibly Horizon Forbidden West all in its first year. Also, God of War Ragnarok and Gran Turismo are right around the corner. So that is a strong start to the generation, and that's not even including all the timed exclusives they have. Again, I don't know if he's including those, but I do imagine he probably is. In fact, they announced a brand new AAA exclusive for the PS5 today. Yeah, this is a partnership between PlayStation and Firewalk Studios. Now, you probably don't know that studio because this is a new studio with several industry veterans, including developers that's worked on Destiny, Call of Duty, Apex Legends, Halo, and Overwatch. Yeah, so you might have noticed a trend here. Surprisingly, whatever they're working on is a multiplayer game. Sony typically invests into story-driven, cinematic type of games, but here they're going for a multiplayer game developed by a new studio. I think that will add a little more diversity to the PlayStation lineup, and it sounds like this will be made by a talented team. The leadership did work together on Destiny, which was a major success, and we'll see if they can do that yet again on this brand new game. Like I said though, it's nice to see Sony try something new here. PlayStation may be well known for their cinematic games, but maybe they can get a big multiplayer exclusive game here as well. I mean, we still need to see some gameplay and everything like that, but because all the talent behind the studio, I'm excited to see what this game is. It could end up being a real hit, or, I mean, maybe not. I mean, again, we need to see gameplay first. I guess we'll have to wait and see though. That wasn't all though, as a new PlayStation Plus feature was revealed, and this is a little different. This is PlayStation Plus Video Pass. This actually leaked online yesterday, but since has been confirmed by Sony themselves. This new feature will allow PlayStation Plus subscribers to access 20 different movies and shows by Sony Pictures, and they will add more content every 3 months. While this isn't new games for PlayStation Plus per se, this does make sense, especially considering they are working on several PlayStation-related movies and shows. This could be a nice addition for PlayStation Plus subscribers. I mean, anytime you can add value to a subscription like this, that's a good thing. However, so far it's only releasing into Poland as a test feature. According to Sony, they fit the criteria as many Polish players enjoy video on demand. So they're first going to see how they react to it, and maybe in the future they bring it to other markets. I myself do imagine they will probably eventually bring it to other countries. Either way though, I like that PlayStation is being a little bit more open right now. We got a lot of information today, and hopefully that continues from this point forward. Let's take a look at the poll of the day though. Konami has been in the news quite a bit here recently. They're going to be at E3 apparently, they're teasing more Switch games, and there are some major rumors of Metal Gear Solid and Silent Hill returning. To this point though, it's just kind of rumors and speculations, so I thought I would ask you, if Konami does bring a game back, what would you like to see them bring back the most? And this was a very close poll, with Metal Gear Solid coming out on top. Castlevania and Silent Hill, though, are right behind it, which goes to show you, fans want all of these games to return. Myself, I would go with Metal Gear Solid, as I am a big fan of Metal Gear. I would like to see a remake of the first game. I think it's more than deserving of a modern-day remake, and I think it would be very successful. However, if there is a new game, it has to have Kojima involved somehow. I just can't see a completely new Metal Gear Solid without Kojima. His footprint is just too into this franchise. I think it would be hard to make another Metal Gear Solid game without Hideo Kojima. Now, I would also be happy with the new Castlevania as well. As I mentioned yesterday, they could do a new 2D Castlevania, and I'd be happy with that. Any type of new Castlevania would be good with me, really. Right now, though, I'm just really hoping that some of these rumors are true. I would like to see Konami return, whether that be them making new games or licensing them out to different publishers, as the rumors suggest. Konami definitely has some good franchises, and I'm sure a lot of people would like to see them return. Anyways though, that's it for this episode, but if you liked the video, don't forget to bell notification and subscribe button for more content just like this. Also, if you'd like to support the channel through Patreon, thank you for making this content possible. Peace out.